Yesterday, Senator, the president saying he wants to move ahead on a repeal bill, but people are confused. Is it a full repeal? Is it not? Where do you stand on this?
I've always been for repealing Obamacare. I ran on it when I first ran for office. I went to great Tea Party rallies where everybody said it isn't the federal government's job to be involved in health care. So I've always been for repeal and remain so. The problem is, as we got into this debate, many Republicans decided they wanted to replace it with a form of Obamacare that was just a little bit less, Obamacare Light. This includes an enormous insurance bailout fund, almost $200 billion, and I just don't think the federal government should be giving money to insurance companies, so I'm kind of opposed to that. If we go back to the clean repeal concept, I'm for that. And so I think it's uncertain right now which way we're going. 2 days ago, Senate leadership said they were going to go to the 2015 repeal, which is the clean repeal. Now, from the White House, and they're now talking about going back towards the Senate leadership plan, which I think has this large insurance bailout fund, which I'm opposed to.
Well, that's what I want to ask you. So right now, as it stands, are you a yes on a motion to proceed?
Depends on what we proceed to, yeah. And so if we proceed to clean repeal, I'm a yes, and I've told them that. If we proceed to the bill that has the insurance bailouts on it, I could be a yes if they take that insurance bailout money and put it on another bill, because I'm opposed to it. I can't in good conscience vote to give money to, they've doubled their profits under Obamacare. I just don't think that we should be giving wealthy corporations taxpayer money.
So I guess my follow-up question then, Senator, is are you frustrated with leadership for how this has been negotiated?
I'm frustrated in general that my party wasn't more consistent. We ran and won 4 elections. The voters rewarded us saying you're for repeal, and now that we have the chance to repeal it, now we have a Republican president, they seem to have gotten a little bit weak in the knees, and people are like, oh, now I'm for, keeping the subsidies, keeping the taxes. Now I'm also for creating an insurance bailout super fund. None of this was part of the repeal discussion that we ran on.
So folks outside of Washington are looking at all of this and trying to keep track of the different plans and what's going on. But I think there's also a frustration about whether or not Republicans are going to be able to get to tax reform and get to other policy issues. Is this health care stunting all of that? Or
I think one way or another we're getting to tax reform. There will be a lowering of corporate tax rates, a lowering of rates for those who have pass-through corporations. LLCs, yes. I think we will get something done by the end of the year, yes. I'm still confident of that.
Okay, I want to switch gears quickly on audit the Fed. Of course, you've reintroduced this bill. This has been something that you're very passionate about. Where does that stand? And have you had conversations with the Treasury Secretary about it?
It has enormous bipartisan support. My dad first introduced it probably 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. The last time it passed in the House, 100 Democrats and every Republican voted for it. So it's enormously popular. The main lobby against it, the Fed. And really, I think it's unseemly that the Fed, an independent agency created by government, should be lobbying on legislation. In fact, I think they should be prohibited because this is about sunlight. This is about transparency, and I think it would be good for the country.
Speaking of transparency, are you headed to Fort Knox anytime soon?
I am going to Fort Knox. I've been wanting to see the gold for a long time. It's in my state.
Who are you going with?
I think the governor will be there. I think the Treasury Secretary, and I think Senator McConnell. That's at least what I've heard.
That's what you've heard? And then just a quick follow-up question. There is a lot of talk about Federal Reserve Chairwoman Janet Yellen and her political future. Do you think she should be reappointed? And if not, who would you like to see? Gary Cohn?
Yeah. I don't have a specific person I'd be for, but I think the president should appoint somebody that's consistent with his policies and what he believes. What I would do and what I believe in is less interference in interest rates. Yeah. I think interest rates are a price. They're the price of money. And just like the price of bread, the government ought to largely stay out of setting prices. Interest rates going up and down is the biggest, most conspicuous, sort of thorough price signal to people in the marketplace. When it's manipulated by government, it sends signals that may not be the right signals to the economy about what they should do.